Hey, I'm Cassidy.
And I'm Kinley.
And you'll never find another podcast like me.
Hey guys, welcome back to Who is Taylor Swift Anyways, the podcast.
Season 2. We're back at it.
And this time we got a little YouTube moment going on. We are actually filming for the first time, which is pretty crazy.
It's insane.
And we have these new little bad boy mics. We're stepping up our game. Our goal is 1,000 subscribers on the podcast by the end of 2024.
We're going to get it, guys. And you guys are going to help us, right? Right. Click that subscribe button.
Yes, on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, you know it. You got to subscribe. We got a lot of to talk about. So much has happened. As of right now, it is currently Monday, February 5th, 2024. And it's going to be crazy. So let's get into it.
We have a lot to talk about.
We have a lot of ground to cover.
But I think we dive into the Eras tour coming back first.
Yes. She is officially 1 week out from Tokyo. We're heading to Tokyo, 100%. Yeah, Tokyo Eras tour, part 1, or is it just like this leg and then it's like just this weekend? Or
yeah, it's just Tokyo on Thursday through Saturday, and then I think she's heading down to Australia. I'm pretty sure is where she's headed next,
and then she's off to Europe.
It's
pretty crazy because so much has happened Eras tour wise. Like, oh, it's gonna be interesting to see what she does.
Not to mention that we got at the end of the Eras tour last year that she's opening up back up her whole inventory of surprise songs. Ugh. So nothing's off the list. Maybe London Boy is off the list.
Yeah, Joe Alwyn probably
found dead in a ditch.
No, 100% found dead in a ditch, especially after last night's fiasco, but we aren't quite there yet. Yeah, the fact that all the Vault tracks open back up is so scary. Like, the fact that another crowd could get Dear John makes me like want to cry, but I'm gonna be okay. We're gonna survive.
I know. I feel like it's not that the surprise songs at your show aren't less sentimental now, but it's the fact that you kind of had these sorts of ownership over them.
100%.
And like they mean something to you because they were yours and everyone around you at your concert for the night. And now that's going to be shared with someone else on a different night, and I'm sure it's going to be just as spectacular and special.
Yeah, it's like,
but it's crazy.
It is crazy. The fact that we have to go through the mayhem of figuring out like, the good thing is that we don't have to keep track of last Eras tour list, because I feel like the list just kept getting more and more complicated because you're like, oh, she sang that song, but then oh, maybe not. But so it's like having like a full fresh list for this leg of the tour I think will be really good. And then we get a whole new album to add on to the list, which is crazy.
Getting a new era. Okay, so let's just jump into it. We've been alluding to it way too much.
I'm not hovering around the topic anymore. Like,
we have to just talk about it.
I cannot believe that she did it at the Grammys. Like, that is a big move. The Recording Academy is like a big deal in music, so like that's crazy, and that takes guts.
Guts is funny considering the circumstances.
Yeah.
Bit of a touchy subject.
Yeah, there was some beef last night. Obviously not on Taylor's point. But like,
no, but Olivia kind of dissociated. I've seen videos where she just wore the same expression Olivia, the whole night. There's no hate towards anybody here. That's not what we're construing.
We are big Olivia fans. Like, we have tickets to see her.
Yeah, we're gonna go. We're seeing her next month. Yeah,
which is crazy.
But
it's just that's a lot of beef. But Taylor is officially making history once again. 4 Album of the Year awards, which is crazy because Beyonce has never won an Album of the Year at the Grammys. Just like, that's such a big category.
And Midnight's joining the rank of, the legendary Album of the Years. We got Fearless. Yeah, 1989, Folklore.
And now Midnight's. I knew that Midnight's could pull through. I was hoping that she got something because we all know Grammy number 13 was going to be a big deal.
Mhm.
But the fact that she pulled through and got 2 Grammys for Midnight's last night was crazy. Just insane because that's all she won. I don't think
Yep.
she won anything else.
No.
Just those 2 major categories, which still, like, major categories are.
And she was up against a lot of very
This
good
year's
songs, very good albums,
this year's
all with
runnings were
spectacular
insane.
artists,
It
productions.
was a tough race this year, but she pulled through.
She did pull through. She made
The
history.
Academy pulled through. We got TS11 announcement on Grammy number 13.
The fact that we were all clowning for Rep TV. We were like, we woke up, we saw 3 days before Sunday, which would have been Thursday when she
Mm-hmm.
unarchived 3 days until Reputation from the original era. And we're like, it's happening, guys. Reputation, original version, stolen version, never got its original Grammys. Um, charisma.
Yeah.
So she was gonna get him back and announce it, and then she didn't. And we just got a brand new album that apparently has been in the works for 2 years now.
There is no hate towards Rep TV, but like she's following a pattern. Like she's stuck to the pattern because it's now she's in a flow of 2 re-releases, a new album, 2 re-releases, new album. But then there's only 2 more re-releases and then we're done. And then we go back to new album every 2 years. And that's gonna be devastating. But we aren't there yet.
We Let's not get ahead of ourselves
We are
there.
not there
We
yet.
we've got time. But yeah, let's talk about the new album TS11, the Tortured Poets Department, which I've been trying so hard
I have not been able to get my
to
like
say. I'm like the Dead Poets Society.
that's what I yeah. It's a long title. Like the trend of all the Taylor Swift sounds is done. Like no more Midnights, the Tortured Poet Society. Like that doesn't fit and it's just different.
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna probably pull out some like orchestral words.
Best TikToks that I've seen have been like it's gonna be like a dictionary level like lyrics, which we all don't hate.
No, I mean, there's a reason, like Machiavellian. These are
Mm-hmm.
all words that I like to pull out when I like to be fancy and spicy and be like, yeah, you know where I learned that from?
Taylor
Taylor
Swift.
Swift.
No, I just think that this album is gonna be something that like us Swifties especially we strive for is just like this deep like meaning lyric heavy album and I genuinely think that this is going to be such a lyric heavy album that we're not even going to know what to do with it.
Yeah, I 2 years. So that puts us right when You're Losing Me
Mm-hmm.
was theorized to be written and recorded. So is this going to be a continuation of Midnight's? Is this going to be something totally different?
People have said that it's supposed to be synth pop but
I've seen that.
based on cover images usually the cover art fits the vibe of the album perfectly. Taylor has been very good about doing that and I genuinely don't think that this is giving synth pop. I think that this album is giving I've seen lots of theories about how it's like the 2 black and white albums plus another black and white. So it'd be like Reputation plus Folklore equals the Tortured Poet Society, which would be interesting because those two do not blend in my mind. Like those are 2 vastly different albums. So it's just like, I don't know.
I'm also intrigued, and I think this will tell a lot about the album to see who's main producer on it.
Mm,
If it's a Jack album, we know that Jacks like to be experimental
yeah.
very recently. We've seen it on Midnights, we've seen it on a couple other of his latest albums, and we've seen it in his work with his own band Bleachers. But if we get an Aaron Desner main producer, we're gonna get a whole nother vibe. We're gonna get Evermore vibes.
Yeah, it's going to be like the cottage again, but I don't know. It's gonna be a telltale sign what producer gets released.
The album cover is giving sleepless nights, though.
It really is. But I am a Midnight's lover. Like I love Midnight's. Midnight's is one of like I think Midnight's is one of best Taylor's best. Well, obviously, like it's her newest. It's gonna be one of the best because it's her growing. But I don't think I personally believe it's gonna be something that we don't expect because Midnight was something that we didn't expect. And we were all like, Midnight's is gonna be like this pop rock album. We can never guess with Taylor.
No.
We have learned to stop guessing.
Yeah, I don't know as many as no one knows. No one knows except Taylor. Actually, we were talking about it after it released last night, and I said to my friends, I said, who probably knew about this
Oh,
before any of us knew? Patrick Mahomes.
that okay. That kind of frustrates me, but like I am not a hater of Travis and Taylor. I love Travis and Taylor.
I love them with my whole entire heart. They are
I
everything
just
that I like. They consume a part of my brain. Like there's a part of my brain up there that's just labeled Taylor and Travis,
traveler.
Traveler,
It's just a traveler.
Tavis.
But I think that I don't think Travis knew.
I
My
think
thoughts is Travis didn't know, but Brittany Mahomes did.
I think Travis must have known.
Ah,
I like I don't think Taylor can keep a secret from him. I really can't.
yeah.
He gives such like rambunctious child energy.
He's
And
like,
I love him, but don't get me wrong. I love Travis Kelsey. But like
no,
he's just so lovable. Like he needs
he's a golden retriever boyfriend.
he
We see
is.
this. Like he literally plays football for a living. He has level of golden retriever in him.
He was a leash kid.
Yeah,
Mama Kelsey let
I
that slide on New Heights.
not the New Heights reference. Yes, the I remember that episode. I love I just love her in general. But we got Taylor and the entire Kelseys. Like we got Taylor meeting Jason and then Kylie.
Oh, Queen Kylie.
And then Jason like full on going shirtless into the crowd. Like that was obviously a great first impression, but I just like that was another thing that we missed. We haven't gotten to that at all because that was like a week. That was like 2 weeks ago.
It was 2 weeks. Well, the Bills game was 3 weeks ago
Yeah.
now, and then the conference game was 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so the Bills game, which was a highly contested game
Mm.
because both teams were doing really well in their seasons, and we knew that the Chiefs weren't really their on the game,
They
for
weren't.
the past couple games before that. But they pulled together and they got a win, and they moved to the AFC Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And it was no one was expecting them to win.
I agree. Nobody. It's because they had their Super Bowl last year. Like it was a big Kelsey thing, and now that like people think that Kelsey's trying to find another way to make it about him and like bringing Taylor into it, and I'm like, that is not a publicity stunt. Like I love the thing where it's like Taylor's allowed to love this loud for the first time in 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we just let her like? Why can't we just let her do that?
Why can't we just normalizing boyfriends and girlfriends showing up to support each other and not just being in? Like, there doesn't have to be an underlying narrative. It's just people showing up for each other consistently
Exactly.
and showing that they love them
Yeah.
and that they're there for them, whether it rains and it's pouring outside and, everything sucks in the world, or they're there to champion them for their highest highs.
Yeah, it's just like people long for that in like everyday life relationships. Whenever it comes to celebrities, that's when there's a problem. And I'm like, celebrities are people too. That's the issue like that we've seen with Taylor is that like people have dehumanized her. Is that
Yeah.
the word?
Yeah.
Dehumanized her because of how big she is. And I'm like, she deserves to live as semi normal life as possible.
Well, I think it's always also the double standard
Mm-hmm.
that comes with being a woman and being like a big influence on not only this country but the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got all these naysayers that these Brad's dads and Chads,
Yep.
as so famously termed, um, who just can't grapple with the fact that she doesn't have control over what the NFL or ESPN or CBS or NBC or whoever's broadcasting does with their cameras.
Yeah.
She's just there. She's living her life. She's showing up for her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And then Travis can fly down to Argentina and he can show up to her concert and have a grand old time. No one says anything about that.
No.
Everyone champions him. But
They're
all of a
like, oh,
sudden,
look at him being a supportive boyfriend. But Taylor gets, oh, she's ruining the NFL.
right.
It goes back to the man every time. Like, there's, like Cassidy said, it's like the double standard. And it's worse for her because she's so big. And there was all the things at the beginning of the relationship where it was just like, Taylor put Travis on the map, and then they got all butthurt about it, and now they won't stop with it. They're like, she's ruining the NFL. She's ruining football. Like, one woman should not ruin anything for you. Like,
But screw the Brads, Dads, and Chads of the world because Taylor Swift is doing what no other person has done, and she's going to the Super Bowl in her rookie year. I'm very excited to see what happens. We've got the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. We're gonna see if she makes it.
she's got quite the time crunch, but I think she'll pull through. That's my theory. I think she'll pull through.
She'll make it. She'll see it.
100%.
She'll be there. She does. She works miracles, and we've seen it time and time again. She'll be there.
100%. We can't say there hasn't been nothing new.
So we just had to come and speak now about all the amazing things Taylor has been doing.
So thank you for coming back and being here with us for season 2.
All's fair
In Love and Taylor.